So the crews in 6, 5, and 4 are the favored crews. They won their heats in the morning. We've seen a lot of Tufts crews occupying those winning lanes based on their morning performance, both men and women. Very large squads that have come here. .38 strokes a minute for Trinity. Tufts at 38.5 strokes a minute. Bowdoin right up there. Probably Bowdoin perhaps with the lead. It'll become clear. It's a very close race. Tufts is there. And it becomes pretty clear at 300 meters that Tufts does have the lead, with Bowdoin in second, Williams in third, Wesleyan in fourth, Trinity very close to Wesleyan, only a deck back, and then it's Bates that is in sixth place. This is going to 500, where the video launch will be picking up the call for the exact position at the 500.
Everybody, let's take a ride with the grand final of the women's 3v8. We're picking it up here with Tufts grabbing this race by the scruff of the neck, and they are out to a full boat length lead over their next closest competitors. Really nice job by the Jumbos to just execute their race plan and establish that lead in this first 500 meters. Closest to us on the camera side of the course is going to be Trinity, who is unfortunately not up with the pace. It does look like it is going to be mostly a contest between Tufts, Bowdoin, and Williams and Wesleyan in the middle of the course. It does look like Bates has also fallen off the back of the pack a little bit, not up with the pace with these race leaders. But again, the story here is all about this Tufts boat out in front with that open water lead. Bowdoin doing everything they can to stay in the mix with the rest of these crews. Definitely not holding anything back in the Polar Bear boat. Really nice to see these guys coming out here and going toe-to-toe with these D3 programs. Bowdoin doing really well here with the checkerboard blades, holding off this charge from Williams in the middle of the course. We have a really stacked field here in this women's 3V. All of these teams are going to be ranked in the national D3 women's poll. Tufts living large up there out in front, outrowing their team ranking here. The Trinity team, of course, ranked number 1 this week, but the Tufts Jumbos in the women's 3B absolutely capitalizing on this opportunity to get out there and see what they can do to upset those poll numbers. It does look like the race for the lesser medals in this event is really heating up between Bowdoin and Williams. Wesleyan not out of it. It does look like Wesleyan is just holding off this Trinity boat on the close side, but really the interesting part of this race is going to be the silver and bronze battle that's going on between Bowdoin and Williams. It does look like Bowdoin is just holding on to a very slight advantage over the Williams boat. Tufts look like they are well and gone. There are a couple of lengths of open water now between the Jumbos and this battle that's going on between Bowdoin and Williams. Trinity doing a nice job here just to hold on to Wesleyan. Wesleyan does look like they are starting to move in a really big way up into the Williams boat after having lost a little bit of momentum there. Wesleyan holding on to about a deck of overlap between themselves and Williams. Williams doing a nice job here just to neutralize that move from the Bowdoin boat. It is a little bit hard to tell from this angle how we're doing with the margins on the Bowdoin boat and the Williams boat, but it is really close in between them. Almost nothing to call between those two boats at this point. Coxswains look like they're just about level, taking a look over at each other to figure out what that margin might be. Trinity's here on the close side, just still hanging on to Wesleyan. Wesleyan maybe just not quite able to capitalize on the momentum that they would have needed to get back up into that Williams boat just a moment ago. But Wesleyan still in it and holding off this charge from Trinity. Williams and Bowdoin now, still nothing to call between these two crews for the silver and the bronze podium positions in this women's 3v final. Tufts, well, they're really out there on their own, aren't they? Just really rowing away with it and showing us how it's done in this women's 3v8. not looking bothered at all by the contest that is unfolding behind them, just sitting in that nice open water lead position so they can just sit back, relax in their rhythm, get their work in, and watch the race unfold before them. As we're pulling up a little bit more level to these crews, I can't even tell you how close it is between Bowden and Williams. These crews are absolutely neck and neck, going bow ball to bow ball every single stroke for the silver and the bronze. I can't tell you who is actually going to be in the lead as we are coming up to this last 500 meters. It is everything to play for in this women's 3v final between Williams and Bowden. Let's toss it up to Madison in the tower.
Bring home some hardware and have it be gold in this event. Meanwhile, there is a battle shaping up between Bowden and Williams, and Trinity trying to get themselves in the mix. Wesleyan just holding on to whatever they can left of boat contact with these other crews. Bates College over in lane 1, it's still just off the pace of the rest of the field in this event, but it is Tufts leading, and that lead continues to grow as the battle for second and third is really heating up. Williams and Bowden and Trinity. It is too difficult to call from this position at the finish line, but these three crews are really going to have a battle come out in the last 30 strokes. Once we get to those red buoyed last 250, that's about 30 strokes to go, and we will see things shake out. And it looks like Trinity on the far side of lane 6, they're starting their sprint early now. So they're starting to gear up, bring their rating up a beat or two to try to bring home whatever they can and put themselves in contention for some hardware. Meanwhile, Williams and Bowden are bow ball to bow ball here as these two crews are really just laying it all out there. And here goes Williams. They have upped it, and they are taking over from Bowden. So Williams now leading by about a seat and a half, maybe 2 seats over Bowden. Bowden trying to hang on and stick with them and not be overtaken by any other crew here. Just a few strokes to go. Tufts is through the line. So Tufts will take home the gold in the women's third varsity, and it will be Williams is now through the line for second in silver and Bowden for bronze. Following them is Wesleyan, then Trinity, and then Bates College, rounding out this women's third varsity grand final. What an exciting race that was to watch for these athletes.